Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. I think there was some type of mix-up with whoever delivered these, because apparently Remette was asking me like, this should be here, it says it's delivered, and it wasn't. And then both of these showed up at the same time. So somewhere one got stuck and they were like, whoops. And then they delivered both at the same time. I don't know what happened, but they both got here. So there we go. Sorry about that, Remette. I'm not sure what happened there. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. I know what these are, and I believe they are a newer version. This is a budget knife that I showcased on my channel a while back, and honestly, the price tag is hyper competitive. At the time, there wasn't a ton out there that, you know, I mean, there were some good knives that cost a little bit more, right? But as far as dollar for dollar value, until recently, Miguron started releasing some really incredible stuff right around the same price tag. This was probably one of the better options, and I think it still is a really, really good option, but I think this is a newer variation of it that will intrigue some people. This is not a review today. It's just an unboxing and first impressions. I actually don't know if there's tape on that or not, but we're going to... No, there's not. It's just, it's being difficult. It won't let me in there. But I'll have these linked down in the description so you guys can check them out. And then these will both end up as giveaway items. I've reviewed this knife. It's really good. We'll talk about it more here in a second. This is exactly what I thought it was going to be. In fact, you know what? I bet you they're both exactly the same thing. I mean, you know, the outside. Yeah. So I'm sure they only meant to send one, but now I have two. And yes, of course, I will give one away. I think I'll probably want to keep one for reference, but this is the Remette RT Camel, and it is a button liner lock. Remette has proved that they can do liner locks really well. The reason that this is so cool is, number one, it's not just the line. It can be actuated the same way that a normal liner lock can, right? But you get to push a button without having the... you know, sort of the natural weakness of a plunge lock. Yes, plunge locks can be done correctly. I think that this company and like, especially companies like Civivi have proven that they can do it really, really well. But the plunge lock has almost, and I don't know if I really want to say it. I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's almost an inherent weakness, given that it requires exceptionally precise manufacturing in order to make it just kind of like, you know, relatively safe. It also doesn't, it doesn't have the best feeling when, you know, you're deploying a knife that is a plunge lock, because the plunge lock itself is the detent, and that leads to this sort of like, you know, it's not really the most satisfying feeling. With this being a button operated liner lock, which absolutely is different, you have an actual detent ball, and that means you get the distinct breakaway feeling. The breaking of the detent is, in my opinion, is critical when you're like, if we're like ranking like the most satisfying types of, you know, deployments, when you're using a flipper tab or you're using the opening hole here, which you totally can. It's really nice. It just feels a lot better, and in my opinion, it's a lot more reliable to get a full deployment when you're not there have been some plunge locks where I've gone to flip it, and because the plunge lock creates a naturally odd and sometimes weaker feeling detent, you don't dedicate all the way, and then the blade goes, you know, it only comes out like 70%. This just feels better. The RT Camel remains to be one of the better options in the $30 to $40 territory out there. This is a $37 knife. It's very, very good. Now, Remette is still hitting their D2 from 59 to 61. That means that, you know, 66.6% of those blades are going to have at least reasonable HRC numbers. In my opinion, D2 is best when it is 60 or higher. It's like, it's not similar to M390 at all, other than it just has a similar optimal HRC range, in my opinion. Miguron is hitting their D2 from 62 to 63, which is incredible, and depending on who you talk to, a little overkill. My advice to Remette, it would be bring those HRC numbers up a little bit. You do have people who will say, depending on the task that you're doing, 6263 HRC on D2 might actually be too much. And yes, that's true. If you're doing lighter, more consistent cutting tasks with a steel like D2, right, the 6263 HRC, obviously it's going to have incredible edge retention, but it's also going to be a lot more prone to chipping. So this is not something you want to go out and use as like a hyper beater, right? But I think D2 is truly at its best balance when we're right there at 61 to 62. Right in there is really, really good on a pocket knife. If you're going to use D2 on a fixed blade, you'd want it a little bit softer, but realistically, I think they're just better steels all the way around for a fixed blade. D2 is an incredible steel for a pocket knife, and I'll continue to talk about why I think it's so good. Number one, it's ridiculously inexpensive, and it's even inexpensive to heat treat properly. Companies like Migron have proved this. On top of that, it boasts some of the absolute best possible edge retention for any steel that is available at the same price point. In fact, I'm not aware of any other steel that is regularly available at sub $50 that boasts this type of edge retention. In fact, D2 is comically ahead of a lot of the other steels that are offered. And I think people forget about that because they hear D2 and they go, oh, it's an old steel. It's amazing that a steel like D2 can hold an edge as long as it can, especially with the right geometry, which this has really nice cutting geometry, and at those hardnesses. So I think Remette, I think if you guys brought your HRC numbers up to at least 60 to 62, then these would be a lot more, if, in future videos where I talk about budget knives, these would be even more potent. There would be a huge, a totally rational argument to be made for this versus some of Micron stuff to say, hey, if you're worried about, the chippiness of 62 to 63 HRC D2, you might want to take a look at Remette. Because they're still hitting within the optimal range, just lower, right? So I think D2 can perform in a wide variety of different ways in terms of like performing really well. Anywhere from 60 all the way up to 63, just is kind of circumstantial. But this remains to be a very, very good budget knife at $37. Very easy to manipulate. This like sort of rose gold, we haven't really talked about this. I think they call this gold. It's more of like a metallic tan. There's a lot of different, colors that are used on knives that are kind of similar. But this is a PVD coating. As far as what the exact coating is, right, because PVD is a process and there's lots of different things. I'm not really sure. But I imagine it's going to be, fairly durable, certainly more durable than your paint that's found on a lot of knives that are honestly offered at the same price point. It's just a really good combination here with the matching pivot collar and of course the pocket clip and the the filler tab. Would have been awesome if they did the liners too, but looks really, really good. It's kind of one of those knives you really don't have to think about too much, whether you're buying a knife for yourself, a friend, somebody who's never really had a good pocket knife. This is just a great option. There's really nothing to complain about, and I still stand with my original review. This is probably one of the best. If I were to make a new list of the top 20, this probably would be, it's almost certainly would be in the list. It's really good, and I really like that they chose to allow you to manipulate the liner lock, because a lot of these button-operated liner locks or top liner locks, they have the liner sunk so far back that you can't access it. For anybody who does want to manipulate it, like a standard liner lock, or maybe that's just where your brain goes when you go to disengage your knife, well then you can. But you have the option of keeping your finger completely and totally out of the way by pushing the button. And that's part of the reason why I recommend so often that companies at least explore the button operation route. Not in terms of a plunge lock, but in terms of a button liner, button frame, or button top liner, or button compression, or whatever. Explore that, because it's even better for people kind of getting into knives for the first time, or, whatever. People who are newer to pocket knives, I think that this is not only is it a reliable, a strong enough locking system when done correctly, but it's also just safer. And I think it just works better with the human brain. There's less opportunity. If you're manipulating this with your, using the liner lock, obviously you're putting your finger in the blade path. So stuff like this just makes a little more sense. I've already measured and reviewed this knife. I'm glad they sent it to me because it's a fun variation of it. But the overall length of this guy comes in at about 7 1/4, and the blade length is about 3 1/8 with 2.75 inches of cutting edge. So your similarly sized knives, I mean, it's very similar to like the Spyderco Para 3. There's your comparison there for the ergonomic lines. I mean, it is almost exactly the same. So, yes, these will be giveaway knives on an upcoming live stream. When do I do my live streams? If you don't know, I stream almost every Friday at 8:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time in the summer, and obviously Central Standard Time in the winter. But we go for an hour, hour and a half, and then I give away knives because I get a lot of free stuff, obviously. So that's what I do with it most of the time. So if you want to win free knives, hang out with us live on Friday nights. That's going to be it today, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.